Welcome everybody, I'm your host Bullfrog. Today I'm going to show you how to install a fabulous Autolab brake reservoir heat shield on a 1991 Mazda Miata. So included in the order of the heat shield, we've got some hardware. We got this beautiful sticker that I went ahead and slapped on while I was waiting for all this rain to stop so I can film. And then a set of instructions, but you don't need instructions. You ain't got to worry about that. So this is the heat shield for the 1.6 cars. The 1.8 heat shields are just a tad bit different from what I understand. I could be wrong about that. But all we're going to be doing is removing this bolt from the proportioning valve and then replacing it with this one and this spacer. And that's all you're going to have to do. So let's get on started. So you're going to want to seek out an elusive 10mm, preferably socket, ratchet of course, and just get it on there nice and tight. Make sure that you're going nice and easy to start everything off, that way you're not breaking anything. And you're just going to want to go ahead and pull this bolt out of the proportioning valve. Now don't worry, nothing's gonna go crazy when you do this. You're just loosening off the part that mounts it up to the bracket, so no worries. Just take your time, nice and easy, and go ahead and take that out. There we go. So now that you have the bolt out, you want to go ahead and bring the heat shield in. And it's very important that you make sure that little casting nub right there passes through that hole. So make sure that you line up with that and that you know that it's like, okay, I need to be right there before you even bring your bolt in to start trying to work it. Once you got that all figured out, you want to bring your spacer in on the inside of the heat shield and kind of line everything up. I'm going to have to put you guys at an angle that you can't really see, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You're just getting in back into the same threaded hole that you just pulled the stock bolt out of. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera to a position to where you guys can kind of watch me doing it, but you're not really going to get the angle like this. But it's pretty self-explanatory when you look at it. Just make sure you're just being careful, not breaking stuff, and make sure that this hole is going to line up with that little casting nub on the proportion valve. Right. Got it all lined up in there, straight. It's important to make sure that you're, going straight on. You're not going to cross thread anything. Granted, this is like a bracket style kind of bolt, but you know what I mean. You don't want to mess something up and have a bad day. So I'm just starting this all off by hand, making sure it feels okay. And remember, I got that spacer behind the heat shield, not in front of it. So just slowly work that sucker in by hand and, get it all started up. I'll move the camera so you guys can see a little bit better. Got the bolt through to the other side, down in there. Can't really make it out, but the spacer's in behind it. So I know you guys can see too well, but I moved the camera around so you guys can see that little spacer down in there. You can't really see from an angle up here because that little casting nub that you have to run through the front is right there. But I haven't started like really tightening it down, but here's the screw coming back through on the other end of the bracket. So, like I said, just take your time. Don't cross thread anything. You're no rush. I mean, this part will take you about 15 minutes to put on at the most. So just take your time with it and be easy. Have some fun with it. All right, once you got everything just kind of tightened down by hand, you're going to move on to actually grabbing a tool and doing it. Still, you just want to make sure you're not pushing down on that little casting nub. You can move the heat shield and adjust it just a tad bit at this point in time. And you don't really have to go like way more tighter than you already are. Just make sure that's nice and snug. You don't want to cross thread anything. Make sure you've been just going in nice and easy by hand. That way you're not going to run into a cross thread issue and, damage anything. This is you know, this is a bolt going into the bracket, so you don't have to harp on it. Just, you know, get it nice and snug. So I'm going to go ahead and use an open end for this part. And, you know, just kind of give it a nice few a little bit until I feel like she don't want to turn no more. Maybe just a hair more. Yeah, that's enough for my liking. Yeah, you saw the proportion valve was just creeping just a little bit while I was doing that. But, you know, give it a wiggle. You know, nothing's crazy. I think we're all good there. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that fancy? Or dare I say, fabulous? Oh, that's it. We're done. Just a simple, easy 5-minute job. That's how you install a fabulous Autolab brake reservoir heat shield on a 1991 Mazda Miata. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Comment and tell me why. Either way, you know, just do what you want. I'm going to be including a link in the description below to Fabulous Autolab's website. Those guys make some really awesome stuff. They make modified knuckles for drifting, Miata skid plates, fire extinguisher brackets, and, you know, obviously heat shields, and I think a few other things as well. So you guys should check them out, and hopefully there's something that you want from them. There's some really awesome guys over there. They make some really quality parts. So thank you guys, and have a good one.